I just stopped and started again, so it'll be easy.
Acts 11 discussion.
Acts 11 discussion. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it's kind of expanding upon.
Well, we didn't talk about it with nobody.
Well, not with
ourselves.
David, but you and I did.
Yes.
Right. That.
Listen, we do not record everything we read and study, because if we did, this would be a full-time job of posting this every day, because we read between 2 and 5 chapters probably.
Yeah. But we were talking about this very.
It's like the bouncer.
This very scene with Peter, when he had his vision. The Jewish people at the time, it was very much. This was a message for Jews. This was a message for Israel.
You can't say with us.
Right. Now, it had been carried to the Samaritans, which were kind of the redheaded stepchild.
Half-breed.
Pretty much.
That's all I've ever heard. Half-breed. I would love to hate the word. Sorry, that's a little Cher and Shania for you.
I don't know that.
That's fine, I'll play it for you later.
This is why you love me so much, because I don't know that. Just going to put that out there, that if I did...
Not a gay man.
I am not. No, not very much. But that's beside the point.
So they were okay with the Samaritans kind of having this,
yeah,
they lived nearby and they were sort of...
but you can see when the wrong sort of people get hold of what's sacred to you, how defenses go up. The believers in Jerusalem were incensed. They were ready to string Peter up for this. They're like, this is wrong.
Was it that they were was it that he was sharing the gospel with them, or was it that just that he was near them? Because as you entered the home of Gentiles and even ate with them.
Yeah.
How dare you go there?
Yeah, it's very much an identity issue here. Remember, even more than today, identity played a part in everything. You know, we're Jewish. We are set apart. We are different. This is for us.
You can associate with them.
Yeah, you can't even associate.
I've actually heard that recently from a fellow Christian, a good friend, that said, I don't know, if you work with this person, this group of people, and the way that they are, you're opening up a door to darkness, and you're opening up this, how are you going to go in their home? You know, it was kind of this question, really.
Yes.
And do you think the people were afraid? Or do you think they were just haughty about what they had and wanted to keep it for themselves?
You know, that's a great question. I'm not sure. I think I would just be making a guess, because I don't know the tone that's underneath that. But if he said... So maybe in verse 2, it depends on what the word criticized means. So let me figure that out real quick. That's Acts 11, verse 2. What does...
I thought it was interesting that they came back and kind of believed him right away in verse 18. When the others heard this, they stopped objecting and began praising God.
Yeah, so
because his eyewitness testimony and what he said meant everything to them. You said that yesterday.
Yeah, there was obviously a level of respect there for who he was in his position, and he did a good enough job of convincing them. The Greek word diakrinoto, Diekrinonto. Diakrinonto. It's more intense than criticized. Diakrino, the base word, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, means to dispute, to argue, to contend, to doubt, or to differentiate, or to make judgment against someone. The grammar, the imperfect middle, indicates that they were actively, repeatedly, sharply contending with Peter over this. This is not, hey Peter, can we talk about that? Or we have questions about your decision-making process. This is confrontation, accusation, and theological battle. Think, they went after him, they criticized him harshly, they grilled him. That's the emotional reality underneath the word for criticize. So they did, they were vehement about this. And people are vehement about this very kind of thing all the time, when the boundaries are stretched, because there's an identity tied to the religion and to the community. Mm-hmm. So part of showing that you're accepted by the community is to stand up against the things that seem to be fringe to the community.
I actually saw someone post yesterday that, like, yes, Jesus ate with sinners and he sat with tax collectors, and when he did, he like, you know,
right,
told them the truth, called out their sin, whatever it was.
Right, there has to be qualifications and guardrails put on that.
Mm-hmm. Do you mean by people or by
people? People are doing that. Yes, and that is very much about making public declarative statements of the guardrails of our religion.
That's so that the people in our religion don't come back to us and diacrinato us. You know, like, oh, yeah, well, I was witnessing them, but I prayed, or I was taking them food, but I prayed for them, or I invited them to church, or I did this thing, I witnessed to them.
Yeah,
it can't just be about the goodness.
All things are permissible. Not all things are beneficial, and that's not the word that's used. This is me paraphrasing. Like, it's pretty simple. You and I are not going to go witness in bars.
Right.
We're not going to go witness in bars because we're not going to subject ourselves to that repeated temptation over and over and over and over and over again. Can we walk into a bar and have a drink of water? Sure. We're around people that drink alcohol all the time, but because of our past, for us, is it permissible? Sure. Is it advisable? No.
Yeah.
In this case, what they're talking about is what's permissible. They are much more. They're trying to put up major guardrails, major bouncer at the door of the free party.
Trying to say this is not allowed. Period.
Yeah, this is your dress code. Mm-hmm. You have to be of this ethnicity or of these people in order to pass go and collect $200. So that's something we face still today.
So they doubted him at first, but then he went on to, they believed him when he.
Yeah, obviously, there seems to be a gulf of either relationship, which that's what what you want to read in here, is that it's not the information. It's not just the information that Peter is sharing. It's the relationship or the authority that he's representing, because they could just as easily say, you hallucinated that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Or that's so far against what we understand to be true that this.
He related back to them, just as he fell on us at the beginning. Peter continued, the Holy Spirit fell on them just as he fell on us in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's constant. You see Paul do that a lot in, hey guys, I'm also Roman. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, I'm also a Jew. Hey guys, like.
Alexa, stop the timer.
You can relate it back to something they've experienced.
Donut timer. My husband's making donuts. I like donuts. Hey, when we're having a tough day, a little bread and sugar goes a long way. Okay, so that's
why we don't go to bars anymore.
The other thing that stands out to me in this chapter is verse 29. So the believers in Antioch decided to send relief to the brothers and sisters in Judea, everyone giving as much as they could. There's this radical picture of support. It's grace. This is a picture. This is grace in action. So we can say we're graceful. We can give thoughts and prayers or whatever, right? This is a big online debate right now.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. What does this do? Okay, well, if sometimes all you can do is pray, but if you can act and you're not acting, are you demonstrating God's grace? And that's really, I think, what the Antioch believers are doing here, is they're putting their faith into action.
Giving as much as they could.
As much as they could.
See, that's who's really giving as much as they can.
And
you know what I mean? Like, we've put in some food pantries, you could give us the donations, but there's food in our pantry that we could do without.
Sure.
I mean, so it makes I wonder, how much did that mean to them? As much as they could, was it?
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that really mean?
And then in verse 30, and this is the one that sticks in my craw a lot, because I like to get up on my high horse and talk about how religious organizations spend their money.
What are they going to do with it?
Yeah.
Where's that going?
And verse 30 says, "This they did, entrusting their gifts to Barnabas and Saul to take to the elders of the church in Jerusalem." Yeah. They released their graceful gift.
Do with it what you will.
And they released control of, of what you can do with it.
It wouldn't have mattered if Barnabas and Saul dropped him off on the side of the road, or if they made it all the way to the church in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
to the heart of the people giving. It's the giving that changes your heart, not the result of the person getting it necessarily.
And of course that's hard, because we've been taken advantage of. Everybody has at some point, or we've seen wasteful spending in one way or another. And I think right now that's a real hot button topic that I think could be a distraction. Do I think there's reformation that needs to happen in the finances of church organizations or religious organizations? Sure. There's always going to be outliers and bad actors that take full advantage of the system, just like there's going to be a few what we would consider good actors that take zero advantage of the system.
They aren't even leveraging what they have.
They have their tax.
It's a real fine line, right?
Yeah. So I think it's a much more complicated position to judge than what I would like to. I'd like to draw the simple black and white line in the sand. But they entrusted.
Yeah.
How much even more possible would it have been for them to commit fraud? They're carrying a bag of money.
Well, probably less than money. They're probably carrying goods and items and who knows? Famine. So they were collecting food and
everything they could get their hands on.
Rice or beans or whatever they had, I'm sure.
Exactly. So those are the things that stand out to me in Acts 11. So there we go. We're going to go into Acts 12. So we'll see which one you guys get today.